quick video to talk about one of the options you have for putting a time lapse together. So a few weeks ago I was traveling, and as I usually do, I bring along a camera or two and the Trigger Trap mobile dongle, and I had my iPad and a nice view out the back hotel window, and I thought, well, let's see if anything happens sunset wise, and maybe I'll get something because it was kind of facing towards the west. And I set the camera up, set up the time-lapse app, the Trigger Trap app on the iPad, and I actually set it for their time warp function, which allows you to speed up or slow down over the course of a time lapse. Ease in or ease out, as they call it. I eased out, which meant that the it really kind of starts to slow down at the end. We'll see that in a minute. And I let it shoot for a while. It's not a ton of photos, 358 photos here, and you can actually, I can click one of those. They're all in a collection, and I'm just holding down the right arrow in Lightroom. So this is it's simply making a video by running through each one, and we can see we get a little bit of a nice sunset there. Before we get to the time-lapse part of how to do that in Lightroom, real quick show you a really nice feature of Lightroom that I've hinted at before and talked about, and that is in the Develop module, the ability to apply settings to multiple images at once. So for instance, I've already done some editing here, but let's say if I wanted to adjust the white balance of all of these images, because obviously in a time lapse you don't want to just mess with one image that's going to be flowing along and all of a sudden this one image is different than all the rest and it's going to jump out at you. Let's cool down the temp here, really kind of bring in the blue, and you can see that in the thumbnails down below. Let's make that a little bit bigger so that really stands out. And if I go to the next picture, you can see the difference between those two pictures is quite jarring. But let's say that I like that new white balance look, and I want all of my pictures to look this way now. So I've selected all of them just by using the Control A. I'm going to hit Sync. Here are my options for synchronizing. I'm going to hit Synchronize, and it's going to run through quite quickly, and the thumbnails always take a little bit longer to update, but there they are. Now I have a very blue skied, and I lost a lot of my, we'll see. So it is, in loading the full frames takes longer too, but it has now applied that setting to all of my images. I can decide that that's not what I want. Let's go back to one of these that has a little bit more of an exciting sunset going on, and let's get that white balance back to where it looks a little bit better. We could actually even go a little bit beyond probably where it was, and brings out the color in the sunset a little bit more. Make sure I've selected them all, hit my sync, and re-synchronize. Now that's not the point of this video though, but I did want to take just a moment and show that because I think it's a really nifty feature. So I get a lot of questions about, I've shot a time lapse, now what do I do with it? Well, if you have Lightroom, there is a free set of plugins out there, and this was pointed out to me by one of my readers. It is called the LRB Time-Lapse Presets and Templates, and they are completely free. You go here to lrbplugins.com, it's in their shop section, and you can just download them right here. Download the preset and template. I'll put a link down below this video for those. You want to stick those in your presets folder, and it's actually quite easy to find that in Lightroom. If you open up your Lightroom preferences, I got something in the way here. Give me just a second to get my Lightroom preferences open. With the Lightroom preferences open, on the presets tab, you have the Show Lightroom Presets folder. That will open up that folder, and then you can literally just drag and drop the downloaded presets after you've unzipped them. So I've already done that. I've already put that into that folder. I'm not going to take time to show that, but if you have questions about it, let me know and I'd be happy to help. Now I'm going to move over to the slideshow module. That is where the templates are. And we have this template browser. We have our Lightroom templates that are set up for slideshows. A caption and rating slideshow, a widescreen slideshow, and that's designed to show an image for about a few seconds, and you can set all of those and then show another image, and it's quite nice. And you can set up your own templates with your own watermarks and background design. All of that stuff is customizable. But we want to come down here to the user templates. These are the ones I just dropped in, and here they are, LR time lapse. I'm going to go with 24 frames a second. I usually gravitate towards that. 15 frames per second might be nice in this case because I really only have 358 shots. So if you're thinking about going 24, 24 goes into 358, what about 15 or so? And so that means, my time lapse is going to be about 15 seconds long. It's going to be pretty short. That's fine for this example. So I'm going to keep it at 24 frames per second. I haven't changed any of the settings over here on the options. I think those are all just set just right. And then I'm going to hit export video. And now I have an option of something to call it. You can see I've already practiced doing this earlier this evening. To make sure it all works, I'm going to do the 720 at 24 frames per second. You also have the 720 here. I honestly don't know the difference between these two, and I tried the 1080, but I wasn't quite happy with the quality. I saw some artifacting in there, so I'm going to keep it at 720 and call it Sunset Time Lapse Final, and hit export. Now it's going to take a little bit of time to go through this. It's got to render each of these files out into a video. It's going to make an MP4 video for me. I'm going to stop talking and chop this video in half here to cut off this extra bit of time, and we'll look at the finished product in just a few seconds. Alright, so it is finished exporting now, and on my desktop I have time-lapse, Sunset Time-Lapse Final. Here it is, and I can hit play. As I said, 14-15 seconds long. You can see we get some nice clouds. This is outside of Seattle, and then we get a glimpse of a gorgeous sunset. And notice that the speed of the clouds is really slowing down there towards the end, and that is because I chose that mode in the trigger trap. I don't want to make this about trigger trap, but it's very slick that you can do this without any post-processing. That it starts off very fast, and so at the beginning it is taking a picture with large gaps. So maybe I think it was every 20 or 30 seconds it's taking a picture, and so that's why you get that movement. And towards the end it's literally taking a picture almost every second, if not even a little bit faster. So pretty slick. So this time lapse is made with a trigger trap mobile dongle, assembled in Lightroom using the free LRB plugins, which is a link down below. And if you have any questions about time lapses, sunsets, trigger trap mobile dongle, Lightroom, just leave a comment down below. I'd be happy to answer those questions. Or come over and find me on the Facebook page, and I'd be happy to answer there as well. Thanks for watching.